नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते राधानाथ स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चात्य देशतारिणे। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सकगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सकगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पदे गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसूते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ईश्वरा परम कृष्ण सच्चिदानंद विग्रह अनादिरादिर गोविंदा सर्वकारण कारणम। हरे कृष्ण। By the causeless mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, we are successfully studying Bhagavad Gita. So being the weekend, Sunday morning in India and Saturday evening here in US, so we are in the 6th chapter. We have finished 36 slokas. So I welcome all the devotees who are joining for the first time, and I'll be focusing more on teaching the slokas from different chapters, so you won't miss something. Whenever at any point of time you join, you are going to get the complete knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. But the 6th chapter is Krishna is actually teaching us about how to control our mind. In Bhagavad Gita, when Arjuna asked the question, that in fact he didn't even ask as a question, he asked Krishna to tell him what is good for him, what he is supposed to do. So then Krishna gave the knowledge, then only Arjuna started asking a lot of questions. So if we understand all the slokas given by Krishna completely, understand means if we are able to follow whatever Krishna is asking us to do, so then we will be able to actually solve all our problems in our life. That means we are not going to face any challenges, no problems, nothing. This Bhagavad Gita knowledge will help us to come out of all the problems, obstacles in this world we are facing. We understand that from Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is telling us, teaching us very, very clearly that this is not a place for us to aim a permanent life. That's not going to happen. But that's what everyone is doing it. Without the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, every day, that's what we are aiming. Our goals are like that way only. Nobody in general thinks about what's going to happen in our next life. Everyone in general is focused only what is happening in this life. But an intelligent person should ask the question that what is going to happen to me when I die? It's a very important question. Where am I going to go? What is going to happen to me? It's a very important question. Simply saying that I'm just this body and with death everything goes away, so everything ends. If anyone thinks like that, so that means he has no knowledge of this Bhagavad Gita. We need to understand that this material body, it didn't come up by chance. It is not by chance. The probability doesn't work here. So the probability of this material body developing itself is impossible, is simply inconceivable, impossible. But we say that as per our science, we declare that everything is by chance. That is not at all correct. So everything is by design. We cannot say that the buses and cars or anything going on the road, everything came by chance. The roads came by chance. And all the buildings in the cities, they came by chance. All the flyovers and everything came by chance. Can we say that? No way. We are designing, we are putting a lot of effort, and we are putting a lot of money, and we are constructing, we are doing all the design work and everything. That's why we are able to design all these things and working. They are all working. But how can we say that this body just came by chance? This life just came by chance. So that is not at all correct. So that means we don't have any knowledge about ourselves. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is teaching us very clearly that we are not this body. This body is not coming by chance. And we are not this body. And the true evolution is actually the soul is evolving through different bodies. That's what we need to understand. So we just see that how the bodies are evolving, how the species are evolving. So that's what we study as evolution. But we need to also understand the soul is also evolving through different bodies. So, but when we get this human body by evolution, when we get this human body, then we have got an opportunity to ask the question about who am I? Who am I? What is the goal of life? What is the purpose of life? So that kind of question only a human can ask. And when we ask such inquisitive questions, jijnasu, so inquisitive questions, and then we try to find answer for such questions, only we can find answers in Bhagavad Gita. When we study Bhagavad Gita fully, when we understand Bhagavad Gita completely, then we will find the answer for this very important question, who am I? And the next natural question should be that why am I suffering? Why I am suffering? That should be the question, why I am suffering. So we need to recognize, we need to understand, we need to realize that we are suffering, that we are struggling in this material world. So our life is temporary. That part we need to understand. So the answer is given in Bhagavad Gita. Why we are suffering, the answer is given. And how we can come out of this suffering, how we can solve our problems, the answer is given. So Bhagavad Gita gives all the answers what we need. So we need to study, understand this Bhagavad Gita, and we need to understand all the questions asked by Arjuna, and we need to understand all the answers given by Krishna, and we should follow in our life. This life is meant for that. This human life is meant for following Krishna's instructions in Bhagavad Gita. So that means we should know Krishna's instructions. We should have this knowledge. If we don't have this knowledge, then how we can follow Krishna's instructions? That means without knowledge, we are only going to suffer and struggle in this material way. When we have this knowledge, then that is like sun. When the sun rises up, all the darkness goes away. So like that, when we have this Bhagavad Gita knowledge, all our ignorance is dispelled. So then we know exactly what is life, what to do, what not to do. Everything becomes very, very clear to us when we have this Bhagavad Gita knowledge. So this is a very rare opportunity we have got to study this Bhagavad Gita. Not everyone gets this opportunity. And when we get this, we should not miss this. That's what is very important. Because this life, actually, this human life, this human body is so special that we should actually continue to study this Bhagavad Gita and explore and understand what Krishna is teaching us and then follow. So that way we can actually make use of this body, make use of this human body. For example, if you have a nice, special, very like expensive car, and if you just don't use that at all, what is the use of that car? Or anything we have, some nice thing. But if you don't make use of it, if you don't even make use of it, then what is the use of having it? So like that, when we have this human body, if you don't make use of this human body, then there is no use of having this human body at all. Then it is not guaranteed that next life we will get another human body. Even getting human body also is suffering in this material world. We need to understand that point very well. When we take birth in this material world means we are going to suffer and struggle. That point is very clearly understood from Bhagavad Gita. But at least if we get a human body, we can understand, try to understand about ourselves. We can realize that we are not the body. That we need to act as per Bhagavad Gita and we need to liberate ourselves from this material world. So that knowledge will become very clear when we study this Bhagavad Gita, understand all the slokas. That point is very, very clear. And Krishna is teaching us about how to control our mind. That's what we studied in the 6th chapter elaborately at length. In 32 slokas, Krishna taught us very, very clearly about how to control our mind. We can control our mind only by fixing our mind on Krishna. Manas samyamya matchitto. That's it. I'm repeating this line almost every day. Manas samyamya matchitto. So you control your mind by thinking about me. So only by focusing our mind on Krishna, we can control our mind. Our mind will become our best friend. But how to do that, Krishna is very clearly explaining in the 6th chapter, which we already studied and we are following, which we will continue to study and we will follow. Everything is going to happen by Krishna's mercy. In this effort, we just have to desire. We just have to desire to get this knowledge. We just have to desire to please Krishna, serve Krishna. Then automatically all things will happen. We will get this knowledge. We will follow what Krishna says and we will become a devotee of Krishna. And we will be able to lead a peaceful and blissful life in this material world. And we will be able to liberate ourselves from this material bondage and go to Krishna as well. That is going to happen, definitely. It's just a matter of time, but it's going to happen. We know that Vasudeva is everything. Vasudevam Sarvamiti. How? With this Bhagavad Gita knowledge. When we study and understand this Bhagavad Gita knowledge, we know that Krishna is everything. And there is no question. There are no doubts. With the knowledge, with the Bhagavad Gita knowledge, with this weapon of knowledge, all our doubts are destroyed. Jnanasinatmana. Tasmat ajnana sambhutam. Jnanasinatmanaga. Chitvainam samsayam. Yogamatisto tishtabharat. So, this ajnana sambhutam, which has arisen because of ignorance, this samsayam, this doubt. So we can slash with the weapon of knowledge. Jnanasinatmanaga chitvaitam. Samsayam. So that way all our ignorance will be dispelled completely. That way we will be very intelligent. We will have the full knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. And we will be able to focus our mind on Krishna only with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita without having any attachment to this temporary, miserable material world and material sense objects. So we can simply focus our mind only on Krishna. If we are able to do that in our life every day, our life is going to be very, very blissful actually. Because we are able to realize that Krishna is with us all the time. We are able to feel that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna, is there in our heart as the super soul, is there in everyone's heart as the super soul, And if you are able to see Krishna everywhere, that's what we studied. Yo mam pasyati sarvatra sarvam cha mayi pasyati tasyaham na pranashyami sachame na pranasyati. So if you're able to see Krishna everywhere, so we are not going to lose Krishna. So daily studying this Bhagavad Gita, reading this Bhagavad Gita, following Krishna's instructions, chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and preparing prasadam and offering to Krishna, and only talking with devotees of Krishna, and just discussing about Krishna. So that's what brings us so much of happiness in our life, and that kind of life only is a meaningful life in this world. Talking about anything else in this material world is total waste of time. Reading the daily news and following all these different channels and following all those things are total. It's not going to help us unless it is connected with Krishna. If you want to serve Krishna, and if their knowledge is going to help us to serve Krishna, then it is very good. Otherwise, if their knowledge, whatever we are seeing, whatever we are doing, if that is going to take us away from Krishna, then we should not do it. That's not good for us. We will be getting ourselves out of Krishna, away from Krishna. So, with Bhagavad Gita knowledge, by Krishna's mercy, slowly, steadily, we will be able to progress towards Krishna, and our life actually is going to be very, very peaceful. So, in the 6th chapter, we finished 36 slokas. So, that is the 6th chapter is titled as the Dhyana Yoga. Dhyana Yoga. Dhyana means meditation. Yoga is, of course, is connecting with Krishna and freeing ourselves from all the attachments to the results of our activities. So that is what is called yoga. So in the Dhyana Yoga, we actually meditate on Krishna, focus our mind on Krishna. Otherwise, our mind will think about something else in this material world, material sense objects. If you don't do that practice, if you don't train our mind to remember only Krishna, so then our mind will go after material world, material sense objects. It thinks about all the time in this material world, and it brings us so much of trouble to us. So Krishna is teaching in Bhagavad Gita very clearly how to achieve that, how to control our mind, how to keep our mind under the control of ourself. Yogi yunjita satatam. Yunjanyevam sadatmanam yogi vigata kalmashaga sukhena brahma samsparsham atyantam sukham ashnute. Yunjanyevam sadatmanam yogi niyata manasaha Shantim nirvana paramam matsamstam adhigachati. So in 2 places in the 6th chapter, Krishna is saying that yogi yunjita satatam. Yunjanyevam sadatmanam yogi yunjita satatam. So yunjanyevam sadatmanam yogi niyata manasaka. Yunjanyevam sadatmanam yogi vigata kalmasaka. Yogi niyata manasaka means who regulates the mind. Vigata kalmasaka means who is freed from the sins. So when you yunjanyevam sadatmanam, so when we are always able to perform this yoga, so at that point of time, sukhena brahma samsparsam atyantam sukham ashnute. So we will be able to experience, we will be able to feel that brahma samsparsam. We will be able to connect ourselves with Krishna as well, and at that time we will be able to experience unlimited happiness. Atyantam sukham ashnute. So that's what Krishna is teaching. So when Krishna taught us about how to control the mind, Arjuna told Krishna that it's very difficult for me to control the mind. That's what we studied last week. Because the mind is restless, turbulent, obstinate, and very strong, Krishna, I think it is very difficult then controlling the wind. So I can even control the hurricane. So even I can stop it, but it's very difficult to control the mind. So yoyam yogastvaya proktagas samyena madhusudana ettasyaham na pasyami chanchalatva sthitim sthiram. So whatever yoga you just taught me, like how to focus and control your mind, I don't think I can do it because my mind is restless. Then Krishna told, we studied in the last week, in the Krishna said in the sloka number 35, Asamsayam Mahabaho, Sri Bhagavan Vacha, Asamsayam Mahabaho, Manodurnigraham Chalam, Abhyasena tu Kaunteya, Vairagyena cha Grihyate. So it's undoubtedly difficult to curb the restless mind. There is no doubt, but it is possible by suitable practice with detachment. That's what Krishna taught us. And also Krishna said in the 36th sloka, Asamyatatmana yogo dusprapa itime mati. So without controlling the mind, one cannot achieve yoga. So asamyatatmana yogo dusprapa itime mati vasyatmana tu yatata sakyo vaptum upayataka. So one should strive by appropriate means, that is by chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, to bring the mind under the control of the self. So when Krishna said that, now we are starting in the next sloka, in the sloka number 37. Now Arjuna is asking question. In the next 3 slokas, Arjuna is going to talk. So what Arjuna is asking Krishna in the sloka number 37 in the 6th chapter, Arjuna uvacham ayatihi shraddhayopeto yoga chalittamanasaha aprapya yoga samsiddhim kam gatim Krishna gacchati. Arjuna uvacha. Arjuna said, what Arjuna said? Ayatihi. Yatihi. Yatihi means a person who is endeavoring. Ayatihi means a person who is not endeavoring. That means who is stopped, who is not continuing. So ayatihi, Sraddhayo Peto Yoga Chalittamanasa. So who was originally engaged with faith, Sraddha, Upeto, Sraddhayo Peta Yogat. So a person who was originally engaged in performing this yoga, in chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and following all the principles of Bhagavad Gita and all such things, but Chalita Manasara, but he deviated. So Chalita Manasara, whose mind got deviated because he lost faith in it. So, and what is going to happen to him? Aprapi yoga samsiddhim. He is not going to get the perfection. So he won't be able to achieve the perfection in yoga. That means aprapi yoga samsiddhim. So if a person who attempts, so Arjuna is asking this question because he already told Krishna that it's very difficult for me to control the mind. It's very difficult. So that's why Arjuna is asking Krishna here, okay, you are saying that I have to control the mind. So I will put efforts. But if I'm not able to succeed, so what's going to happen? That's a question here. Kam gati Krishna gacchati. What is his destination, Krishna? So Kam gatim Krishna gacchati. So that's what he's asking Krishna. What is the fate of an unsuccessful yogi? So in simple terms, just to summarize this one sloka, Arjuna is simply asking Krishna, what is the fate of an unsuccessful yogi? So we may also ask the same question, because Arjuna himself told Krishna that it's very difficult to control the mind, and Krishna also agreed that it's undoubtedly difficult to curb the restless mind. So if we try to control the mind, if we are not able to achieve success, and if we die, then what is going to happen if we die? So that was the main question here. So Arjuna is continuing in the next sloka, in the sloka number 38. So in the 38th sloka, Arjuna is actually continuing here. So what he is asking Krishna, that Kachinno bhaya vibrasta Chinna bramivanashyati apratisto mahabaho vimudo brahmanapati. Kachinno ubhaya vibrastas. Ubhaya means in both. So he will actually vibrastas, deviated from both. Materially speaking, also he is not going to achieve anything. And spiritually speaking also, because he attempted to control the mind, but he couldn't control the mind. So spiritually also he is not achieving anything. So he will become unsuccessful in both materially and spiritually. So Kachinno bhaya vibrastas Chinna abram ivanashyati. Abra means the clouds. So Chinna means it is discharted. It is torn. So Chinna abram ivanashyati. Just the cloud perishes. A raven cloud which perishes. So his life becomes like that. Does his life become like that? So that's what Arjuna is asking the question. Chinna brahmivanashyati apradisto mahabaho. O Mahabahu. Usually Krishna only calls Arjuna as the Mahabahu. Mahabahu means mighty armed. So now here Arjuna also is calling Krishna as Mahabahu. Apratisto Mahabahu. He is not situated in anywhere. his life is useless. Basically, in spiritually and materially, in both senses, he's not going to achieve anything. So Vimudo, Brahmanapadi, so who has fallen from such path, the path of transcendence, Brahmanapadi, who wanted to go to the supreme world, Krishna's world, and who attempted to control the mind, and who is not able to achieve the success, and he stopped in between. So what is going to happen to him? That's what Arjuna is asking. So in the next sloka also Arjuna is continuing in the sloka number 39 in the 6th chapter. Ye tanme samshayam Krishna chetumargasi aseshataga tvadanyaga samshayasyasya cheta nahi upapatyate. O Krishna. So here repeatedly Arjuna is telling Krishna, Krishna like that. Hey tanme samsayam Krishna. Because we need to be careful why I'm saying that Krishna, Krishna like that. Because when I was doing my PhD in IIT Madras, one person who is a friend and he was telling me that why you are saying always Krishna, Krishna like that. In Bhagavad Gita, not even a single sloka, the word Krishna, the name Krishna is mentioned like that, he said. At that time I didn't know a lot of slokas, so I got confused. But you can see that in many, many slokas, the word Krishna, the name Krishna is mentioned. So that way, if anybody talks about Bhagavad Gita by taking Krishna out of the picture, we should not be listening to that at all. So here Arjuna is asking Krishna that Etanme samshayam Krishna chetum asheshataka tvadanyaga samsayashyasya chetanaki upapatti. So that is my doubt, Krishna. Etanme samsayam Krishna. And I want to clarify this completely. Chetum arhasi asheshataka. I want to dispel it completely. So that is my doubt. So other than you, no one can actually clarify this doubt. So tvadanyaga samsayasyasya cheta nahi upapatti. So this is my doubt, O Krishna. And I ask you to dispel it completely. But for you, no one is to be found who can destroy this doubt. So Arjuna is telling Krishna that you only can, because all these slokas, all these things, only Krishna is giving this knowledge to Arjuna. We are so fortunate to get this knowledge actually. We are very, very fortunate. We are extremely fortunate because this kind of knowledge only Krishna can answer, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is directly talking to us and giving us this knowledge. And we are very, very fortunate. So now Krishna is answering all the questions, all the slokas what Krishna is answering, starting from the next sloka, the sloka number 40 to 47. So the next 8 slokas, Krishna is going to give the complete answer actually. So the complete answer. So what Krishna is saying that in the sloka number 40, Shri Bhagavan Vacha Partanai Veganamutra Vinasastasya Vidyate Nahi Kalyana Krit Kaschit Durgatim Tatha Gacchati. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Shri Bhagavan Vacha, Upartha, not only in this life, even in the next life also. Naivega, Iha means this life. Amutra means next life. So, na Iha, na Amutra. So that means not in this life and also not in the next life. So he will meet with any destructions. Vinasastasya vidyate. He is not going to meet with any destruction. Not only this life, but in the next life also. We need to understand this very carefully. In the 4th chapter, when Krishna was giving us the knowledge about this Bhagavad Gita, the importance of Bhagavad Gita knowledge, anyone who has faith on this Bhagavad Gita will get this knowledge. Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. And but Krishna said that Ajnascha asraddha danascha samsayatma vinashyati nayam lokosi naparo nasukam samsayatma. A person who has no faith and who is ignorant, who has no faith on this Bhagavad Gita, he actually, that doubtful person, not only in this world, even in the next world also, he will not be happy. He won't be happy anywhere. So, nayam lokosi, naparo, nasukam samsayatma. But here Krishna is saying that for a person who had faith on, who has faith on Krishna and attempted to control the mind, but he is not able to achieve the success. So such a person, for him, not only in this life, even in the next life also, he does not meet with destruction. So, nahi kalyana krit kaschiti durgatim tata gachati. So, for a person who is engaged in such auspicious activities, so he does not meet with destruction. So, degradation. So, nahi kalyana krit kaschit. Kalyana krit kaschit. So, na durgati data gachati. So, that's what Krishna is saying. So, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O son of Pratham, a transcendentalist engaged in auspicious activities does not meet with destruction either in this world or in the spiritual world. One who does good, my friend, is never overcome by evil. That's what Krishna is teaching us. So by Krishna's causeless mercy, we have successfully finished the sloka number 40 today in the 6th chapter. So we have 7 more slokas to finish the 6th chapter. So now let us follow what Krishna has instructed us about to control our mind by focusing our mind on Krishna.